There is a big news, and I'm 100% in favor of it. Check this out. House Senate pass National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. Let's check it out. Days before a memorial service for Charlie Kirk, the US Senate and House Representatives passed a National Day of Remembrance for the conservative influencer after he was killed on September 10th. Whoever wrote this, I appreciate they didn't put far right. Did you see the articles that say that? Which happen to be the same articles that then they tell you that he was assassinated by the far right because he was too moderate. Which one is it? Regardless. The Senate on Thursday unanimously approved a resolution making October the 14th, 2025, Kirk's birthday, a national day of remembrance for Charlie Kirk. Close quotes. I should have said open quotes before that, but would you expect professional YouTuber here? I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. You know, of course, I'm in favor of this. I think it's fantastic. And in fact, I have a few other suggestions for the Senate, which I will share with you in a second, so do watch until the end. But there are two things that really strike me when it comes to this. One is this adjective, unanimously. Unanimously. I'm a little confused by this word, unanimously. The problem is that, of course, I don't believe people just because they write something, so I've been checking it out. And what I see is that the Friday vote split Democrats. Now, of course, all Republicans were unanimously voting in favor of this. That's what you would expect. But it seems like that the Friday vote split Democrats. 95 voted to approve the measure, which, I mean, credit where credit is due. But 58 voted in opposition, and 38 voted present. So basically they didn't vote in favor of it, and 22 did not vote. This does not look like unanimous to me. Now, am I misunderstanding something? Am I getting wrong sources on this number of Democrats who voted against it? And we are told that several Democrats who opposed the measure said they were uncomfortable with its praise of Kirk. And here is the resolution in the House of Representatives, if you want to check it out. With some of the Democrats doubling down, saying, open quotes, political violence should never be tolerated. However, empathy is not celebration, and I do not have to call Charlie Kirk a hero. He was no such thing. He repeatedly disparaged minorities, especially black Americans, close quotes. Well, first and foremost, this first line you should go tell the tens of thousands of your followers who are clearly celebrating violence and not just tolerating it, endorsing it. And this thing about repeatedly disparaging minorities is false. I'll cover that on a separate video. Am I misunderstanding something? Well, you let me know in the comments. Just a few days ago, when they were trying to have a minute of silence for Charlie Kirk, there were like a bunch of Democrats that just wouldn't shut up. And talking about the minute of silence, I actually did one on my live stream for when we hit 1 million subscribers, and I will share it on this video. So as you keep watching, at one point, I will just show you that little section. I was there with 1,500 people watching, and we shared a beautiful moment of silence. So we did what Congress couldn't. But they do this. So that's the first thing that I want to point out, because you got to be fair. Second thing, however, is the date. Now, I had no idea, of course, when Charlie's birthday was prior to this whole debacle. But I have to say, October 14th, now that I know that, I literally feel like I live in a simulation. Why? You got to be joking. Seriously. Charlie Kirk had the exact same birthday as George Floyd. Now, given. Not that the two things are even remotely comparable. At a human level, of course, I wish they would both be alive, because I don't revel in anyone's death. Different level. But isn't it crazy that they are both turning points, in a way? I'm glad we are not seeing cities being burnt. I tell you how it is. While on the Senate floor, Senator Rick Scott, the Florida Republican leading the passage of the resolution, said he is, open quotes, proud to have the support of more than 20 of my colleagues to honor Charlie by dedicating his birthday, close quotes, as this day of remembrance. Absolutely. Open quotes, Charlie was a good man, a devout husband, father, and a friend. His life was shaped by his faith and the idea that in America, debate and discussion are crucial to the betterment of our society, close quotes, Scott said on Thursday. Based Scott. In the approved resolution, the Senate, open quotes, recognizes Charlie Kirk for his contributions to civic education and public service, close quotes. You don't have to ask me twice. I'll make it into a family. It's not just, I'll make it into a family event. We'll go, have lunch, and celebrate in his honor. So two things I want to add to this. One, I do believe it's classy that they chose his birthday rather than the day of his death. Well, on one hand, no one is going to forget that one anyways, because literally 10/11. Really? No one is going to forget that one anyways. However, it is nice that we remember the day he was born rather than the day that he was unjustly and brutally killed, as a way to remember him alive in Christ. So I appreciate that. But there is one more thing I want to address, because I know that there will be people saying this, so I have to address it. And in fact, it's the flesh and bone, the nutshell of this video. Apart from all the raging lunatics that are going to say, he was a bigot, he was a fascist, how dare you do this? Apart from those, we don't care about those, we don't talk to those, I want to have anything to do with those. You, after the one that wanted to speak to your ilk, I am not like him. I will speak to people, regardless of their political position, as long as they are decent. Once they do that, and celebrate and laugh at his death, no discussion with me. It's just me. You want to continue? Fantastic. I will respect you for it. Not me. And I'd like to underline this only applies to those who are celebrating, laughing, and endorsing for more violence. Not those who disagree with me. Massive difference. Now, apart from those, there will be people, however, that may bring up a potentially legitimate counter-argument when they say, okay, he didn't deserve to die, it's horrible that this happened, I feel for his family, however, he was no saint, it was just a regular man, I didn't like his views, so why are you turning him into a saint? Why are you making him into a martyr? Now, this may appear to be a good counter-argument, but it is not, and here's how we counter it. You see, we are not making him into a saint, nor a martyr. You did. You turned Charlie Kirk into a martyr, first with the bullet, with the inscription, "Catch Fascist," which clearly defined it as a politically driven assassination, no matter how you try to twist it. Second, you made him into a martyr because of all of the celebration and laughing and giggling and supporting and excusing and justification layers that you have presented to us. Charlie Kirk was a man. He was a man, like you and me, and normally would have sainthood appear, right? Problem is that the tens of thousands of people that gained hundreds of thousands of likes with all the laughing and giggling, they went from human to this, which elevated him into sainthood by comparison. Literally. You don't believe me? Oh, look.
That Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck. Hey, ooh, ah.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
Yo, they got Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling.
You absolute monsters. This is scum.
And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with...
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
Rest in peace, bozo!
So
Charlie
tolerant.
Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog.
Yes, I repeat, compared to what we just saw, he was absolutely a saint. And it's because of people like this that we need to make a stance, which is why, here is my suggestion to the Senate. Name a street after him in every major city in the United States of Freedom. Charlie Kirk Street. They are naming streets after Arab heroes in New York, aren't they? But we should have a Charlie Kirk Street. I want one in Texas, Houston, Texas, one in Nashville, Tennessee, one in Los Angeles, one in New York, and keep going that way. After you're done with that, we should propose that for the European Union, and they should have a Charlie Kirk Street in every single country in Europe, and boy, they need one. I say as a European, I would love to see a Charlie Kirk Street. It's going to be called Via Charlie Kirk in Sicily, in Palermo, where I'm from. And I'm going to suggest, if you want to make it matter, we have a main street called Via Libertà, Liberty Street. It should be an intersection of that street. So from Liberty Street, you go into Charlie Kirk Street in Palermo. You might think this is a bit much, had you not seen the clips and videos that I've just shown you. But that's why we're doing this. That's why Charlie Kirk has to be a martyr. Not just a casualty, a martyr.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing.
Watch us. That's why I've got this here. It's not because I'm trying to be theatrical. It's because we have to make a stance against these people that I've just shown you. Because they have no decency, no honor, no humanity, and we need to make a strong stance against them. They turned him into a saint and a martyr.
And I will not ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
I just heard that someone shot Charlie.
demons. So I'm gonna do 1 minute of silence. Chat, you could type if you want. It doesn't make a sound, so it doesn't matter. All right, guys, let's make sure we have the timer. I want the phone with no sound.
Okay.
Here you go. Is your phone with no sound?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm starting now. 1 minute of silence for Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, until we meet again. Thank you, Noble Ones. I really appreciate that. We did it. They couldn't do it. We did it. Every major city, Charlie Kirk Street. And I've seen someone really getting mad at me because, of course, I posted this on X, where I am on fire, and you should follow me. Link in the description. Stop being lazy. Come on, it's just one click. And I'm going to make it worth your while. You're going to love it. Someone complained and is like, what are you talking about? That's a horrible. He was a bigot and you want to do this? And yes, precisely because you still say that. You still call him a fascist even though you know that that's what got him killed. You have learned nothing. So what I told this person is, I'm going to suggest this. Not that I matter. I don't matter. I'm no one. I'm nothing. But I will suggest it. Because in the 0.1% chance that someone does watch this video and thinks, you know what, I like that, and they had the power to do it. You know what I told this imbecile before I blocked him? I told him, not only I hope that they do this in your city, but I hope that the one street they choose to name after Charlie Kirk is the one where you are living right now. And I hope that the street sign will be directly visible from your window, because that's what they need. They need to see how many people are standing with Charlie. And maybe it will make a difference for the majority of them, but perhaps some that have been brainwashed, perhaps they'll start to see. Maybe they'll start to question and ask themselves, but if he was such a bigot and a racist and intolerant, why are so many people doing this? And maybe they'll look into it. And then they will see that, oh, I was told that he wanted gays to be stoned, but that was false. It was a lie. He never said that. And then they'll see they told me he was a racist, but then they'll actually see the quotes in context. But I was told that he was hateful. But then they'll watch the clips I just showed you. And they'll think, but hold on a minute. How can these people who are clearly showing the most disgusting form of hatred, while his little girl cannot hug her dad anymore, and his wife is grieving him after having chosen to spend their entire life with him. And they are being like this? And he was the hateful one?
Oh, someone shot Charlie Kirk. Look, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but that's how you pick up a woman.
Homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. He got shot in the head. We got Charlie in the neck. We got Charlie in the neck.
We. As I said on my response video to Destiny, the moment you lose the moral ground and you act in a despicable manner, you lose the ability to call your opponents out. So if no one laughed at this, apart from maybe a couple of idiots, but the entirety of the left wing, and obviously the right wing, and centrists, condemned this, then you could have the moral ground. Then you wouldn't have made him into a saint. But you did. We all saw it. And you tried to twist it. So we stand. On that day, someone will maybe remember among these hateful, spiteful monsters that regardless of what everybody called him fascist, Nazi, white supremacist, to his little girl, he was just Dad.